gonna go write a million songs if that's the way to be. I'll write a classic to beat them all and go down in history. I'll be the one to reach the stars, but only if you're with me tonight, 'cause that'll be.
Hello again and welcome to episode 36 of Main Street Martin and our latest Princess cruise to the Mediterranean.
I'm gonna go write a million songs if that's the way to be. I'll write a classic to beat them all and go down in history. I'll be the one to reach the stars, but only if you're with me tonight, 'cause that'll be the life. 'Cause that'll be the life. 'Cause that'll be the life.
In previous episodes we've cruised on the Emerald and the Enchanted Princess ships and provided 2 Mediterranean cruise series in places like Marseille, Rome, Naples and Athens. Don't forget that you can still check out that and all of the previous episodes, including our 2022 cruise on the Regal Princess, right here on this channel. And if you enjoy any of the videos, please make sure you click on the like button, ring the notification bell to be informed of any future videos, and above all, make sure you subscribe. Now before we do anything else, let's take a look around our cabin, which is on the Marina deck, deck 15. Here is the wardrobe with the cupboard in the corner and the safe, of course. And up on the shelf, plenty of space, including those life jackets. And just behind us here is the bathroom. There's the shower. Nice size. With the toilet. Bin underneath. And then you spin round and into the cabin. That's the view of Southampton at the moment. But overcast, hopefully the weather's going to improve. Some nice artwork on the wall. And last time on the Enchanted we didn't have a sofa here, which is quite nice. Small table, bedside table and the bed, which is really comfortable. A large screen TV, and behind me a little desk, and underneath is the fridge. There's a drawer on top with a hairdryer, so plenty of space, plenty of storage. And these sofa's really comfy actually. The first thing I need to do is tell you that our drive to Southampton took around 3 hours from the Midlands down the M40 and the M3. We had an issue when we arrived at Southampton in that the port terminal had changed. We were supposed to depart from Ocean, but we were then directed in a long queue of traffic to Horizon, where we parked for around 40 to 45 minutes, and then we were directed to Mayflower. But once we'd actually got there, I'd estimate from the moment we handed over the car keys with cruise parking to the moment we stepped onto the ship was probably less than an hour. One of the things I found most stressful about the cruises we've taken so far was the whole process of going through airports, having flight delays and so on. Realistically, this was a breeze. Anyhow, we have just a couple of hours before we set sail, so let's take a look around the Sky Princess. But before we do, it's worth pointing out that we sailed before some of the changes were made to the deck plans. The changes were implemented after our cruise, but the Princess website has the most up-to-date deck plan for you, so check it out. So this time we're sailing from Southampton on one of the newer ships in the Princess fleet, the Sky Princess. A couple of choppy sea days to start. It has 19 decks on this ship and there are 3,660 guests at a maximum, and this ship is full, and we're looked after by 1,346 crew members.
Which way did we come in?
As you can see, because it is very, very rough outside, some of the decks are actually closed, and even the ones that are open, not many people are braving the elements. So, as I'm sure you can understand, it's going to be very, very busy inside. The piazza is very busy, as are the bars. There are games, board games and card games being played in the Crown Grill, so there's plenty to do, but it's a little more crowded than it would be normally just because the decks are clear of people.
I could have. I could have.
As part of your Premier Plus package now, not only do you get your drinks package and your free Wi-Fi, you do get some classes as well, but One of the main advantages now is 2 speciality ice creams per day of your cruise, and this is where you get them from. Here's another example of just how choppy it is. Remember, we're on deck 5 now, so we're a lot lower down. This is one of our favourite places for snacks on the Plaza deck, deck 5. Absolutely fabulous choice of snacks, from sandwiches and paninis right the way through to cakes and pastries. But as you can see, because the choice is so good and the quality is so good, it's very, very popular. Also on deck 5, next to guest services and the spa, the Lotus Spa, is one of the specialty restaurants, Sabatini's. Now on the Enchanted Princess, this was where The Catch by Rudy, the restaurant, was, and we didn't enjoy Sabatini's quite so much because of where it was situated. This is a much better place for Sabatini's. It's going to be much quieter. On the Enchanted Princess, it was actually right opening out onto the piazza, but here is much more quiet and looks a little bit more exclusive for a specialty restaurant. The first 2 days of the cruise were spent at sea, and frankly the weather didn't improve. As you can see from the bridge cam, which you can access from your TV in the cabin, it was still pretty choppy. We hadn't seen any sun at all, the decks were pretty empty, and we were really looking forward to our first port of call in Portugal. Day 3 of our cruise, and as you can see, we've arrived after 2 pretty rough days at sea in the Portuguese capital of Lisbon. The weather, not too bad. It's going to rain a little bit later on, around 16 degrees Celsius, but we absolutely love this city, so we're looking forward to exploring it once again. As you'll know if you've watched any of our previous videos, we particularly enjoy exploring cities like Lisbon on our own, on foot, rather than taking an excursion, especially as we've been to this city before. So what we decided to do in the morning was wander around the streets, take a look in the shops, visit some of the places that we particularly enjoy going to, and then we decided to make our way up to the castle. Well, it was at this stage that the heavens opened, and by the time we got to the top, it was absolutely torrential rain. So what I've decided to do is show you some of the footage from the morning when the weather was okay, looking at some of the cafes and the streets and the shops and so on. But then once the heavens opened, I'll show you some footage from previous trips and tell you about some of the places that we think are worth visiting. This is the Santa Justa elevator, which was built in 1902 and designed by Raoul de Menier de Ponsard, former apprentice, of course, to Gustave Eiffel, the man behind the famous tower in Paris. It connects the lower and upper parts of the city from Rua de Santo Justa to Bairro Alto, and there's a neo-Gothic feature on top of the elevator which can be reached by a spiral staircase. Here there's a cafe with great views across the city. Now, if you're looking for something to eat or drink in Lisbon, there's certainly plenty of choice. This is the Time Out Market, a concept created from scratch by the Time Out Portugal team, who say if it's good, it goes in the magazine, if it's great, it goes into the market. There are 24 restaurants, 8 bars, a dozen shops, a cooking school and a high-end music venue. The market is also home to some of the city's finest market traders of meat, fish, fruit and flowers. The food hall itself has 40 restaurants and shops, served by more than 500 seats in covered areas and 250 more outside. The trams have kept much of the original interiors. They've got glossy wood panels and chrome, so it's a bit of a journey back in time, passing some major attractions with opportunities to hop on and off through attractions and spectacular lookout views. Looking down on the city is St George's Castle. The oldest parts of the castle date back to ancient Roman times. It later became a Moorish palace fortified in the 11th century, and when the city was taken by King Alfonso Enrique I in 1147, aided by the Northern European Crusaders, the castle became a royal residence as well as the royal court, home to the bishop and the royal archives. In thanks for the Crusaders' help, the castle was named after the patron saint of England, St George. A short number 15 tram journey will take you west of the city to the mouth of the river Tagus, and that's where you'll find Belém. It's rich in history, the site of maritime legends, the birthplace of the pastel de nata, the custard tart, and home of some of Portugal's most important museums and galleries. It was from here, in the 15th century, that explorer Vasco da Gama set sail for India. The first stop for us here was another of Lisbon's most iconic buildings, the UNESCO-protected Torre de Belém. It rises from the water near to the mouth of the Tagus and is one of the few 16th century buildings to have survived the 1755 earthquake. This military fortress in many ways symbolises the resilience of the city it guards. Queues can be long here, but it's well worth the wait to explore the dungeons and views of the river across to the Rio-inspired statue of Christ. A short walk away is this imposing 1960s monument to discoveries, built to celebrate the country's contribution to the age of discovery in the 15th and 16th centuries. It depicts 33 historical figures, including Henry the Navigator, Vasco da Gama, and Ferdinand Magellan, organiser of the first expedition to circumnavigate the globe. For a small fee, you can take a lift to the top for more panoramic views of Belém and the river. From the top of the monument, you get a look at the impressive Geronimo Monastery, which features on many tourist websites and postcards from Lisbon. From its beginnings in 1501, it took almost a century to complete, thanks to the increasingly elaborate designs, a testament to the prosperity of Lisbon at the height of the Portuguese Empire. If you visit, you'll be impressed by its impressive cloisters, detailed stonework, and the major historical figures buried here, including Vasco da Gama. Well, there's certainly lots to do in Lisbon, whether you take an excursion or not. That's it for now from the Portuguese capital. We'll be back on the Sky Princess next time with more bad weather and a cancelled port as we head towards Gibraltar, Spain and France. But in the meantime, take a look at the other videos on this channel featuring Caribbean and Mediterranean cruises, plus our visits to eco parks and theme parks in Mexico, the United States and Europe. You'll also find city breaks here in the UK and across Europe, as well as short breaks providing top tips, hints and ideas. If you enjoy any of the videos, you can really help the channel by clicking on the like button, ringing that notification bell and subscribing. And I hope you can join me next time for episode 37 of Main Street Martin.
I'm gonna go write a million songs if that's the way to be. I'll write a classic to beat them all and go down in history. I'll be the one to reach the stars, but only if you're with me tonight, 'cause that'll be